Imagine roaring winds barreling toward your family, your home, and all that you hold dear. The winds so strong that trees bend, splinter, and uproot themselves trying to withstand the force of nature. Homes are instantly demolished as the water flows swiftly across the land, rising to unimaginable depths. As a coastal resident, I live in an area that is prone to the impact of tropical cyclones, so I can relate to others who also face the threat of impact. Despite having personally faced activity on several occasions, I still, prior to this, had little to no understanding of these naturally occurring hazards. Today, it is my goal to give you a better basic understanding of what a tropical cyclone is, how they form, and what makes them so deadly. To do so, I will define a tropical cyclone, describe its formation, and report on its most deadly association. First, what is a tropical cyclone? On its official website in 2024, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said a tropical cyclone is a generic term used to describe a rotating, organized system of clouds that originate over warm tropical or subtropical waters and contain a closed low-level circulation. This coincides with what the official website for the World Meteorological Association said in 2023 when they said a tropical cyclone is a rapidly rotating storm that begins over tropical and subtropical oceans that have very violent winds and torrential rains. Next, I want to speak about the growth potential of a tropical cyclone. A tropical cyclone, once reaching 74 miles per hour, will be named and classified depending on its origin with the term hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone. But before this happens, the storm needs to actually form. In a 2013 broadcast report for the BBC, John Hammond said key requirements are needed for the formation of tropical cyclones. These requirements are sea surface temperatures, clusters of thunderstorms, the spin of the earth, and light wind shear. When these conditions are met, pre-existing disturbances can be guided toward one another with converging winds and begin rotating around the same area of low pressure. If this happens, the storms can merge and form into a singular storm. Sea surface temperatures fuel the storm from that point as it draws the warm, moist sea air up through its center. As it cools, it is discarded through its top and flows away from the storm. These add to its rain bands, which wrap around the eye wall. This is the most violent part of the storm, where you find the heaviest rain and the most extreme winds. Ironically, the eye wall wraps itself around the eye where it's calm. Under these ideal conditions, a storm can grow to exceed wind speeds of over 200 miles per hour as seen with Hurricane Patricia. In an online PDF in 2015, Mario Cortina Borgia remarks on its impressive speeds and shares evidence supporting why Hurricane Patricia is the strongest storm to have ever formed in terms of wind speed. A hurricane or tropical cyclone can grow, unfortunately, until it simply cannot, and this happens by either traveling over cooler water or making its landfall. Last, I want to tell you what makes a tropical cyclone its most deadly. Recalling my introduction, on the night of November 12, 1970, the Great Bola Cyclone sent an astounding 35-foot storm surge onto the unsuspecting former-day East Pakistan. The cyclone forced the seawater onto the land with ferocity that sent it rushing toward families, home, and their land. In June of 2022, Faisal, Hassan, and Hassan note in their online PDF how the storm surge from the Great Bola Cyclone is primarily responsible for an estimated 300,000 deaths. In a 2015 online PDF by Needham, Kelm, and Sethayarj, they agree that tropical cyclone storm surge is among the deadliest, most destructive of natural hazards. Devastation this catastrophic can be seen especially among developing nations. This is supported in an online article published in 2017 by Nigel and Beckinson entitled Is Tropical Cyclone Surge Not Intensity What Kills So Many People in South Asia? In my introduction, I said I would identify what a tropical cyclone is, explain how it forms, and inform you of its most deadliest factor. A tropical cyclone is a rotating storm that is accompanied by excessive wind and high rain that originates over tropical waters. It fuels itself in order to grow, and it has the potential to bring devastating storm surge flooding. Before closing, I would just like to reiterate how vulnerable low-lying coastal zones and barrier islands are due to their exposure. These areas are the most at risk for the surge. This is especially true in underdeveloped nations but by being informed and being prepared, we can assist in minimizing the loss of life.